All right, guys. This should be fun. We're going to listen to the analyst, Emmanuel Rosner from Deutsche, I mean, it depends on how you pronounce it. There's other ways you could say it. Bank, talking about their downgrade for Tesla. Target is 123 now, in light of the likelihood of a Model 2 pushout and the company's change of strategic priority to robotaxi. So let's give him a listen to and see what he has to say, and then I'll throw out my commentary.
Longtime Tesla bull Emmanuel Rosner of Deutsche downgrades to hold, slashes his target from 189 down to 123, cites this, quote, thesis-changing shift from a lower-cost EV to robotaxi. And Emmanuel joins us to discuss his call. Now, Emmanuel, it's great to have you. I was looking back to early March where you actually were suspicious of the delivery number ahead of that print, and you talked about downside risk. Why revisit the rating at this point?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. So, look, we've actually been at the forefront of warning investors about meaningful near-term downside risk. Basically, Tesla is under tremendous pressure. There's a lot of pressure on the demand side for their vehicles, pricing pressure, earnings pressure, free cash flow. So, if anything, we've had some of the lowest estimates in the near term, both for 2024 and 2025. But we've been okay with it as long as it was perceived as being temporary, and it would have been temporary because the Model 2 was supposed to come next year and re-accelerate things, re-accelerate volume, margin, earnings, and free cash flow. I believe long-term investors are on board as well. They know how bad things are now, but they expected things to turn around. Now that Model 2 is likely being pushed out, potentially even canceled, you do not have this on the horizon anymore. And so now earnings are under pressure, free cash flow is under pressure. There's no turning point to this. Hence, this is thesis changing, and this is why we're downgrading the stock.
So we're no longer talking about cycles or valleys between innovations. You think this is more structural?
This is essentially a function.
All right. I just wanted to comment real quickly. So, here, let me do this real quick. I want to pull something up. We need to look at Tesla. We need to look at that doom and gloom that is Tesla super fast, and then we'll get back to his commentary. So this is thesis changing, guys. This company is now in a dying state. That's the thing you need to understand. Sure, they might have 81% approval ratings from existing owners of the vehicle. That is higher than like any other car out there. Sure, they might be making more per car than every other Chinese EV automaker combined. Sure, Legacy Auto could be giving up on EVs and switching to hybrids, further setting themselves back. But the fact that there's speculation that the Model 2 might be put on the back burner, and again, let's look at some numbers here. He was talking about free cash flow being down. I mean, let's look at their cash and debt position real quick. They have $29 billion in bonds and cash. That's almost $13 billion in bonds, earning about 5% a year. And they have $2.682 billion in debt. The company's revenues, their estimates going forward over the next 2 quarters are actually for Q2 to have the highest revenues this company has ever had. The highest revenues they've ever had. And we're seeing, like, look at supercharging stations build out. If you look at historical margins, if you look at COGS, everything pretty much is going in the right direction. And nobody is talking about energy. Nobody's talking about service revenues. Nobody's talking about things that have been picking up at all. It's just this company right now has lost their way, and therefore they're done based on some speculation. And so we've lowered our price target. This is an amazing thing that this comes from what should be a reputable bank. And I think it should be a lesson that analysts, most of them, don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And they also have strong egos. And this right here, has this guy even been in Tesla full self-driving 12.33 or 3.4? Has he even been in it? I would say he probably has not. Because then he would know how revolutionary these changes are. And do any of these people listen to Elon? I mean, he's pretty much, outside of the deployment time frame of full self-driving, pretty much spot on about like everything. But now, on the precipice of years of saying that full self-driving was going to happen right away and having it not. And we're now so close to it. And there's literally a date on August 8th to talk about the robotaxi. We're going to downgrade the fucking stock. All right, let's go back to these people. This is always fun to watch. The guy on the left is a total idiot. So it makes for a great interview.
Of an aging product lineup. So the core product lineup of Tesla.
The product lineup has aged. They have the most innovation in tech out of any car company that exists on this earth. And it's aging. Did he see the Model 3 and the Model Y refresh? Did he see the S and the X? Did he know that there's this thing called the fucking Cybertruck? Jesus Christ, who the fuck? I'm sorry. Who are these people? Who are they?
Is old. It's facing increasing competition. It's also facing larger headwinds around EV demand, especially in the
increasing competition. All of the car manufacturers in China combined can't make as much off their cars. Legacy Auto has quit. Increasing competition.
US. And as a result, the volumes at Tesla are now less than flat, right? Q1 was already down. Q2 could also be down year over year. That's despite massive, massive price cuts over the last 18.
You know what's so frightening, guys? You know what I've heard? I've heard that Q1 is actually, historically, every year, going back since the beginning of the car, the worst quarter for car sales. So isn't it frightening that they declined? Oh my God, shaking in my fucking boots.
Months or so. And so, yes, It is structural. It is not cyclical. It could have been solved by having essentially a new product at a low price.
It's structural based on one quarter. We have determined structural issues based on one data point. I'm sorry, I should let this guy speak, but he's just pissing me off.
Price point, which would have been attractive and frankly could actually have been dominant, at the $25,000 price point. This would have been the Model 2. If this is not coming, we're talking about the same.
The Model 2 would have been the least margin vehicle that this company would have in its fleet. The Model 2 is about pushing people towards renewable energy and EVs, right? Like that's what the Model 2 is. It's getting mainstream EVs, right? It's not about fucking making money. It would once you get up to scale. But here's the thing. There's no indication that the Model 2 is canceled. We're still working on this thing in Giga Texas. Some speculation that we're not, from a company like Electric, who said that they were firing 30,000 people when the number was half that. And Electric is known for misrepresenting facts to get clicks. So, and Elon even said that it was a lie, the post about the Model 2 being canceled. Is it possible that they're still working on it? And again, we know that Mexico is still happening. We know that India is a possibility, I think a real possibility of an announcement this year. Is it possible they're just focusing on the robotaxi first because it's where all the fucking money will be? It's where the money will be. Even just the $99 FSD is per month reoccurring revenue for a car. Is this a concept that's hard to understand? How many cars do you have that you pay them $100 to $200 a month after you bought it? Ugh.
Old lineup for the foreseeable future. With all the eggs being put into the robotaxi basket, this is not a consumer vehicle.
The best possible basket they could put eggs into. And we don't even have confirmation of any of this yet.
We believe that this creates much downside to earnings and free cash flow.
Much
future.
Yeah, well, that was reflected in what is now your $2.40 estimate, $2.40 for 2027. But Emmanuel, I noticed that your price target is based on a 42 multiple, and I just wonder, why is that warranted?
Hey, man, I still like Germans, just not this guy.
There's not a lot of growth to speak of.
And Deutsche Bank doesn't have a great history.
So you're really right on both counts. Basically, our view is with the current lineup of vehicles, the best Tesla could do is around $2 of earnings, probably for the foreseeable future. So call it till 2027, maybe even beyond or so. And there's downside risk to that as well if pricing.
This guy gets paid for this shit. He goes on the news on one of the most prominent business stations. I mean, really, it's all X now, right? But like, let's say the most prominent business news stations. And this man gets paid for this Probably like 6 figures for this shit.
Thing continues to come down or if volume sort of like collapse. The thing is, it's not like Tesla is shutting its doors. They're now going all in on robotaxi. We do a deep dive on robotaxi in the notes. We're not going to go through it now, but the point is, it's hard to put into numbers, and it's certainly not into our earnings model. But that optionality is very, very much there. It would be highly differentiated, and we think that we should at least account for it in the multiple. So the multiple is punchy despite no earnings growth, because in the end, investors in Tesla will basically say, okay, I understand the core business is no longer growing, potentially even shrinking, but look at how exciting this business could potentially be. Our rating, though, indicates this is highly risky. If it plays out, if they can deliver the robotaxi, is it exciting? Massively exciting. How long will it take to get there? Can it even get there based on technology risk, regulatory risk, operational risk? This is very, very difficult to say. So
this is the kind of guy you do not want to have running your company because you're going to fail. This is why Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla. Because when you have people like this that are like, oh, look at all the scary stuff. Oh, it's just so bad. Price target very low. They're not the kind of people that get anything done, right? This guy isn't a doer. He should be like, I won't even say a teacher. Why does this guy get paid? I don't know. But he did at least include some of it in the multiple. And I can't hate on him for that. It was the first smart thing he said.
We're still applying an unchanged punchy multiple, but on much lower earnings trajectory.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see the framing change so quickly, Emmanuel. Appreciate it. Hope you'll stay close. Emmanuel Rosner.
Yeah, like literally, Slim Shady, the entire fucking business model, and this has been the vision for a long fucking time, is about autonomy and robotics. It's literally been about that. But we can't put that in our valuation for the stock because it's not like they're the leader in all of these things. I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. Here's the thing. Tesla's down about 2.7%. I've got a feeling we close green today, or it happens by the weekend. By Friday, I think we start to trade up. Next Tuesday, we have earnings. Maybe we trade down till Tuesday. I don't know. I think too many people are waiting right now for earnings to basically be the thing that changes all of this. And that they can buy the dip because it's all going to go down on earnings. That is the view I hear from everyone. Everyone says that exact same thing. So if everyone is going to buy the dip on earnings, what do you think is going to happen on earnings day? The opposite. That's what happens. That's how this stuff works. If you're new to this, that's how it works. And I want to show you something real quickly. We're going to go back to the beginning of time for Tesla. And we're going to look at this bottom part here. And this is something that Trend Spider put up and that I posted about and I made a video about. But in February of 2016, the first time the weekly chart had gotten to the oversold condition for the company, Tesla. After that, the stock went from 10... in short order, from 10 to about almost $18, $19. So an 80% upside move. The next time it was that on the weekly was all the way back to May of 2019. This time frame right here is the absolute worst in this company's history. Absolute worst. This is phase 1, this little line, phase 2, phase 3. We're in phase 4 right now. But this was the absolute worst. What did the stock do after that? It went from a split adjusted return of about 1150 to, I don't know, 400 and something. It went up over 33x. 33 in a period of a couple of years, not even. So, and now, let's look over here. And then end of December 2022, beginning of January 2023, we had Tesla drop down to $100. I bought the shit out of that, made $250,000. Didn't have a lot of money back then, though. So, or not as much as I do now. Can't say not a lot. I mean, it's still like, it was a millionaire. It's pretty good. But I bought in. I allocated to this. I didn't allocate as much as I wanted to, but I allocated in. I made $250,000. But I also had money in Meta. That turned out really good. And then I bought Palantir, which turned out the best. I made over $600,000. So I can tell you, I kind of specialize in buying the dip for companies. And Tesla is the best EV maker in the world. Chinese companies can't compete against it. American companies can't compete against it. No other car company in the world can build EVs the way this company is. And I don't know, do you think EVs are the future? If you've ridden in one, you do. If you've seen the ecosystem that Tesla has, you know it's like Apple when the iPhone was produced. You know that with 12.3, the game was changed for full self-driving. You know that you can watch videos with people driving like 80 miles through multiple cities and not have one intervention. And we're just getting started because they just moved heuristics, or removed heuristics. I shouldn't say removed it, but removed the bulk of it, where the brain, the neural net, is doing the work now, not 330,000 lines of code. It's making way better decisions. It's way more human-like. It's going to be reversing soon. It'll back out of my driveway and drive somewhere, to the mall probably. Maybe I'm taking a walk. I hang out with the old people at the mall during the day. And it can drive me there and then drive me back. And it can park in the parking lot, in a space. All these things are going to be here just in the next couple months. If you're not including robotics and autonomy in your valuation for this company, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. I don't know what else to say. The energy business is going up. The services business is going to go up. These guys are building out superchargers like crazy, and they just opened up their supercharger network to everyone. I mean, a huge number of companies like GM, Ford, Polestar, Porsche, like everybody's getting it. And they're going to pay more. They're going to pay more. And then you have the reduction in the full self-driving subscription from 200 to 100. What is a mall? That's a great question. It's a place where all the businesses close, especially the big ones. But it's nice and quiet. It's a great place to walk in the winter when you live in the Midwest. But so not only do we have the potential for margins to increase because of the reoccurring revenue, you got to realize, guys, a lot of car companies barely make any money. Like not even $1,000 on a fucking car. Tesla can make that much from one person's full self-driving subscription each year. They can make more than Ford, more than GM per car. And then they already make $7,500 per car. And then there's all these people that are going to be charging and spending more on the supercharger stations. You've got more people signing up for full self-driving subscriptions. And you have them focusing on the robotaxi where the margins are going to be sick. And they're making sure that they don't have too much capacity and too many employees, which is why they got rid of 10% of the workforce. Because you don't want to have too much capacity if the economy does suffer a downturn. They're playing this like a fiddle. There's no company doing this. There's no company managing this. There's no company that told you over a year ago that things were going to get hard in the auto sector. You got to remember, Polestar sales dropped by 40% year over year. BYD was 43% for their EVs. And then if you look at like CarMax's earnings, they got fucking devastated. The used car market is insane right now. Inventories are piling up everywhere. Tesla is the only company that has managed their business to account for this, for all these things. And then we know that they're building out robots and that all their improvements with full self-driving are just making the robot better. I don't have time for stupid people, man. Like, this is appalling how bad this is. This commentary from this person. It's appalling.
Over at Deutsche.
Let's finish it up. Oh, good. He's gone. Awesome. Perfect timing. But again, I just want you to focus on all the things that matter. Focus on the data. Focus on what this company is doing today. Focus on the reality, not stupid narratives where people don't count all the value that's coming in front of the company because they can't understand it and can't quantify it, even though they could just do math. They could just do math and say, is this the future or not? Is this company leading in all these industries? And then to act like they don't have any changes? They haven't had any changes in their product lineup? What the fuck is that? Oh, it hurts my brain. It hurts my brain when people are this stupid. It's painful to watch. So I don't know that I can say anymore. Tesla's only down 2.2% right now. Let's see. Did we close our gap? Let's look here. I want to pull up the chart. Let's look at the chart real quick. Let's ignore stupid people. Stupid people are everywhere. There's a reason I block people, like a lot of people. It's because I can't handle people like, I don't even care if you're arrogant. I don't care if you're stupid or misinformed. I don't care about any of those things. It's the combination of arrogance and stupidity that I really struggle with. I don't do well with it. So we closed half our gap. Could we go down tomorrow and finish the rest? Totally, we could. One sec. My dog's getting crazy here. I'm just going to shut the door. There we go. My geriatric mutt needs to go to the bathroom again. Love her. But look at this. Look at this candle right here. So we have just from a technical standpoint, like the best setup that you would ever want to have, right? We have the best setup. We're at the fourth juncture of some of the lowest RSI levels that have ever been in this company's history. That's kind of handy. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for a box. I need a box. Oh, right up here. That's kind of handy. We've closed half the daily gap, which is a good thing too, technically. Sometimes you don't close at all. That's another thing that nobody seems to talk about. We have a gap above us. We have a gap above us. We have another gap above us. We have another gap above us. We have gaps everywhere on a trend that has been going down since November of 2021. And people are bearish. I don't know what to tell you guys. If you let the price drive your view of an investment, you shouldn't be investing in stuff. You just shouldn't. You should go do something else. Go golfing. Find other hobbies that you might be good at that don't stress you out. Because if you can't value a company off of its actual worth, what they're doing, what their vision is, what their work ethic is, what their track record of success is, if you're incapable of judging a company based on its actual worth and you think the price decides that, do something else. All right, I'm going to look at comments real quick. If you guys have any questions, throw them out. Sidecar guy. Bought more Tesla, under 150. Thanks for the downgrade. Hell yeah, that's exactly right. That's the one good thing. Douche Goodentard. I'm sorry, that says Deutsch, but I just wanted to add that. BD, good morning. A morning to you, my friend. Autumn Soul, good morning. Hello. Let's see here. We got Bitcoin goes to moon, then we sell and buy Tesla. Man, I sold the last of my puts today. I've still got some orders in to buy more Tesla calls, but I fear that they will not be purchased. I might have to just spring on it. Let me see. What are we at? I might just buy some real quick. Give me 1 sec. I'm still going to look at comments, but I might just buy some because you're right. With Bitcoin going up, I can always DCA in if we go further. So fuck it, man. Let's just blow our load here. What is it down? It's down. The contracts are down 5.37% on the day. That's still something. Do I have any open ones or did I close them all? I closed them all. All right, let me just get a couple. I'm just going to buy like, I don't know, whatever I have left for cash. What do I have? Oh, that's something. About 10 grand, 11 grand. Let's see here. Boop, 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 boop. Almost done. Almost done. Stick around. I'll be done in a sec. All right, 9. Let's go to 1570. Let's just get this closed. That's a good number. Hopefully. And if it goes down more, fuck it. All right. Oh, I got too many contracts. 1 sec. I got to dial it back. Couldn't do math. It's hard to do math and be a YouTuber at the same time. Evidently, I'm still off by $100. Son of a gun. Means I can only get 6 contracts. All right, let's check it in. Check back in a second. All right, back to chat. Spiler. Bitcoin goes to... Oh, that was you? Tartalus. Hi, my friend. Hey, brother. How you doing, man? Looks like a good day. Good day for everything. Vadim. Kanif. Bye. Yes, my friend. David T. Morning all. Great day to buy Tesla. Doomspiler. BEV sales under pressure. Yep, they are. All car sales are under pressure. And the only company worth a fuck right now is Tesla. But they handle it like shit company Rivian and China Maker. Like you say, too much speculation. If they bring a $25,000 car, they will be printing. Yeah, and even if they don't, they will be. If the focus is just the robotaxi and increasing margins exponentially without increasing cost, dude, that's probably the better scenario. Every car maker is not profitable with BEV besides Tesla. Like, basically. There are some that are. BYD technically is, but they get huge subsidies. 10 years in the future compared to other cars. Yeah, they're so far ahead. It's like buying the iPhone when the BlackBerry was around. And I don't know how many of you are too young to understand that concept, but people used to be like, why would anybody get rid of a physical keyboard? They're so great. It's like, why would anybody use the internet? What is that for? To listen to some baseball game on it and you couldn't even do video? Why would anybody use the internet? So stupid. Why would anybody use email? Why would anybody use email when you can mail something? People find that much more endearing. Why would you use email? Why would anybody not want physical media? Why would anybody not want a CD or a tape? You could own it. Why would you pay like $5, $10 a month to have access to music when you could own it? Why would anybody want to go to a kiosk to get a movie or get a movie streamed online? It's not fast enough. It's going to look horrible. It's never going to work. I mean, Blockbuster is the place, guys. There were people that thought that the horse wouldn't get replaced by cars. If you don't understand this, the vast majority of human beings have no foresight. They have no vision into the future whatsoever. If they haven't seen it and don't understand it, it can't be real. So don't listen to those people. Please. I don't know what else to say. Just don't listen to stupid people that don't know what they're talking about. God, listen to me. I'm at least not an idiot. I mean, I'm an idiot at some things. You can ask my wife, but not this. Disease Kodak. Morning, Jesse. Hey, man. Tautalist. Jesse, it's much easier. Deutsche Bank's graphs tells how good they are at their business. Yeah, that's right. Should we look up Deutsche Bank? Let's see. Let's look at the bank that rates companies, right? How do we spell douche? Deutsche, is that it? Nope. Oh, I don't want to actually save this ticker. This ticker is just pain. Let's just, what is it? Is it an EU? There we go. Deutsche. So let's go back a ways. Let's see how great they are. Show us the future. Oh, you suck. You suck. You've sucked since 2007. Oh, yeah, you're like a really corrupt bank that's been around since the times of Hitler. And, yeah, maybe not very trustworthy since your stock price was at like 135.40, and then it went down to $5. So why the fuck would we listen to you? Great question. I want to see Jesse SmackDown review. I would love to do an interview with Gordon Johnson. Gordon, I'm probably too small for you to hear this. Let's chat, man. I'll be very respectful. It'll be fun. All right. Doomspieler. Elon Musk was confirming that they still develop the Model 2, like you said, misinformation by Reuters again. I think they're still going to do it. It's just whether it's the primary focus. They're restructuring the company to be around the future, which is AI, autonomy, robotics. Did you guys notice they had this thing called Grok? Did you know that Grok 1.5 is much better than ChatGPT 4 on numerous metrics? This will be the brain that talks to you in your car soon. This will be the brain that talks to you in a few years in robot form and explains why it does the things it does. And even the version of Grok right now is so good. It's not as good as ChatGPT, but 1.5 will be better. Nobody beats these guys. Jesse, please be gentle with the us Germans. I will, for you, Lussie Picker. I will be. Just not Deutsche Bank. The remnant of Hitler needs to die. Doomspieler, I see Tesla going to $25. Yeah, right? It's totally happening very soon. Now, 69 would be poetic. I really hope we still hit 69. That's my goal. But I think the technicals are taking that away from us, and the fundamentals will soon too. And then you'll see the narrative shift dramatically, and that's the fun part, guys. It's watching people come around to what you say. That's the fun part. I love it. I want that 6 figures and buy Tesla Leaps 2026 too. I think he'll do that. I have like $330,000 in June 2026 Leaps right now for Tesla. I want that to be $500,000, so I hope it goes down more. Pete LG just bought more Tesla. Only reaction I had after this knuckleheads evaluation. Man, sometimes you just need a touch of Irish whiskey in your morning coffee, right? Like you just need to. If you don't take things like this seriously, your mentality is going to be so much better, guys. Broke mentality. Good morning, Jesse. Hopefully that's not your mentality. If you're here, I'm imagining it's not. Josh, laughing. Doomspieler. Maybe some Deutsche Bank puts. I doubt it, man. I've got a feeling that the puts on these are extreme and not very valuable. Too many people are already in that play. Slim Shady, he says we can't put Robotaxi in our models, so it's worth nothing. Yeah, well, we'll give it a little multiplier for them because they might, so many headwinds, so many regulatory risks. Yeah, the NHTSA has actually been super fair to Tesla, and that's the biggest regulatory risk. And they'll start off in jurisdictions, local jurisdictions, where they're friendly. I can think of one. I bet you it might be Texas. Just throwing it out there. And all the other locations where they're hiring robotaxi drivers to be a part of these vehicles initially before they get probably final approval to have them be gone out of the car. So, yeah, I mean, like, so far off. So scary. So scary, this company. Can't value that. You ought to know. Emmanuel Rosner has a 36% success rate and a return of 2.31%. No, I didn't know that, but it sounds right. Here's the deal. That's the name of the guy. Good morning, Jesse. You ought to know. That's the name of the guy. Negative 2.31%. Oh, yeah. What are we at now? Let's go back to Tesla. Let's not look at Deutsche Bank. It's just pain and suffering. They need to start doing their own downgrades. Wouldn't that be great? Do your own downgrades. Hey, also on the monthly time frame, we are at the third lowest level in Tesla's history. Probably nothing. And it's not like I pay attention to Tesla at all. I mean, it's not like I've tracked the company in any way or pay attention to anything they do. I bet you the guy doesn't have any of this information. But yeah, we're down 2.88. Hope we drop more. I'll sell some. Well, I won't do it today. I'll probably take a couple of days off. But as Bitcoin rises, I will sell some of it if this keeps going down and just buy a shit ton more to get to my $500,000 level. And here's the thing. You know how long I've been saying that? A long time. And you know how much my path forward has changed? My opinion has changed on this? None. It's been reinforced to the upside because everything we've gotten in regard to news, if you actually look at it and take time to understand it, is positive for this company versus all their peers. Everything. Sub Jesse, been following paper trading and educating myself for 2 years and happy to contribute back. Now I have a stack and great positions. Thanks so much, man. Knew this growth was coming for you. I appreciate that, Ryan. Thanks, man. Ryan, it's crazy to see all this to come to fruition for you, man. It's only the start. You have crazy value, bro. Keep it up. I'm done. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man. You guys are too kind sometimes, man. I really appreciate you guys. Oh, my chat moved. 1 second. Just got to peel it back up here, evidently. We had a lot of them. Let me go down. Oh, no, that's too far. No, it's not far enough. Jiminy Christmas. Phenom Group. Hey, is that you, Seth? That's you, isn't it? Sweet, man. All right, Almir. Speak, Jesse, speak. I will. You can't shut me up. Slim Shady. I hope we get to $100 returns. Will be epic. Mr. Nelson. I just got to use FSD for the first time last week. It's silly. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's brilliant if you think about the fact that nobody else can do it. Nobody else can do it. When I bought my car 2.5 years ago, my Model Y, it could barely do a good job on the interstate. You couldn't trust it necessarily on off ramps. You couldn't trust it around construction at all. You're insane to. And in that time, it's learned how to drive in the city, and it's learned how to do. It pulls. If I base it forward, it pulls out of my driveway. Soon it'll be able to just back out. It's crazy. It's really crazy. All right, JT. All right, you mongrels, hit the like button. That's a good idea. Hit the like button, guys. If you're here, if you support my work, if you think I have any value at all, it's incredibly courteous to hit the like button. It takes no effort on your part. Comment if you can, other stuff, that takes a little more effort. I would definitely click the alert button because I do throw out alpha on a pretty decent basis. And if you want to get it quick and in a timely fashion, one that matters in markets, it's probably good to do. My 2 cents. Could be wrong. Usually not. You are not going to be talking about cars by 2030, bro. It's all going to be about FSD robots. Yeah. Harun Murat Boulet. Hopefully I got that close, dude. What do you think about vision comparison of Tesla between 5 years ago and now? I don't know what you mean. Their overall vision or like the vision system? I'm thinking you're talking about their overall vision. I'd say it's fucking way better. I thought they were gonna die. In 2018. Well, I didn't think that. Everybody thought that. I bought hard. The only thing I was guilty of is I didn't hold the stock long enough and pay attention to the macro. I wasn't really focused on macro back in 2018-19. So I bought hard into the dip. I had calls that went way out. I didn't make nearly as much money as I should have because I just didn't have, I didn't understand macro, and I didn't understand how hard we were going to push higher. So that was a disappointment. But the company and what I think of its future is way better versus the pit of hell from 2014 to 2019. That was 5-6 years of pain and suffering and sideways chop. The people like Ron Barron that held on during that time, they're the true visionaries. The ones that didn't sell because they knew what they had and they rode that up 33x. Those people were visionaries. Why does this keep disconnecting me? Come on, TradingView. It's free and I appreciate that, but please stop doing this shit. Fix that. All right. Anyway, Mr. Nelson, I think Robotaxi and the $25,000 car is going to be the same. I don't think so because in their presentation they did a long time ago, they had something that was more like a van or like a vehicle that like maybe like, if you hop on the tram at an airport, it was more like an individual version of one of those. And then they had the small $25,000 car. So I do think they're separate things. I think the Robotaxi, I made a video about it. I think the Robotaxi is probably like something like that runs in like 35 mile and less areas in a metro, at least initially, and maybe like just the Robotaxi as a whole. But I do think that what people are missing, and I think my kind of vision of this, and I think Tesla's too, is the first thing they talked about wasn't just a Robotaxi. It was everybody getting on the network. And right now, my Model Y does an amazing job driving. And I would be happy with, especially my Cybertruck when I get it, hopefully soon, I would be happy to take people on rides using the Tesla app, having FSD driving once they get it ported to the Cybertruck, and running on hardware 4. It's probably going to be amazing. And I would be happy to supervise it. Isn't it interesting that they changed their name from full self-driving beta to full self-driving supervised before the 8.8 release of the Robotaxi and what I believe will be the mobile app for all of us to be able to join? Like, why would you change the name? It seems like it's a good time to indicate exactly what people will have to do if they're going to be a part of this network. That's my take. But so I think they're separate vehicles, and I think that's the vision. And I'll be very happy to say I told you so when 8.8 comes around. And I will. Trust me. Kite. Oh, excuse me. Tesla is a 100% banger, but we should hope and pray for $90 to $100. I'm hoping for 69 because I want Elon to be able to look at that and be like, yes, these people are in my simulation. Phenom Group. That's my boy Seth. He's brilliant. I love him. I was a sell-side strategist CFA for 8 years. Would love to offer my thoughts. Baseline, everything Jesse is saying is accurate and absolute and relative. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you, man. You are one of my favorite technical analysts and macro market people out there. If people aren't subscribed to this guy on X, you're missing out. And he's on YouTube too. The steering wheel and the pedal is going to fold in what is Robotaxi, and when it's ready to drive, the pedals and steering wheel will come back. I think they'll make it to where they can come out. I agree with that. And I think again it'll be supervised because they're hiring people to do that, and they'll do that until they have interventions at a level that's non-existent. And then I think what they'll do is they'll have still remote access to the vehicles, because this is kind of what they do with Waymo, right? And other cars like that, where they'll have somebody that can quickly, immediately, if a situation has occurred where it's not doing something it's supposed to do, the person can press a button and somebody will pour into it and be able to talk to the passenger and then figure out what to do. I think that is going to happen too. I think they'll have some support type people that can help with those kind of cases, those one-off edge cases, once they remove the human being from it, if they do have some kind of weird intervention that might happen once a week. So I think that's kind of my vision of the Robotaxi. And then I think that individuals the Robotaxis will be the only ones that can drive on their own for a long time. But I think eventually us individuals will be able to do that too. And do I need to work for Lyft or Uber? No, but I do want to show off my Cybertruck. And I'm pretty sure a lot of my friends are going to get tired of me showing it off all the time. So I figure what better way? Maybe I can watch some YouTube videos. Maybe I can look at some tickers while the car is driving me around. I'm showing people how fucking cool it is. I'm getting them to buy Tesla, which pumps up my bags, and everybody fucking wins. So that's that. Let me see here. T, thanks for all you do, man. I'm busy with work and got a notification you went live. I'm grinding away at my job and trades and learning to invest. Dude, that's how I got started. And I started doing that maybe it could be 6 years ago now. I got back into investing again and really just decided this is my life. I read The Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and I decided that was my job. I didn't give a fuck anymore because I busted my ass all the time for decades, 70, 80-hour weeks sometimes. And I learned that people don't respect that as much as they do people like somebody understanding what's important in life. And so I thought that because I stuck around and I worked my ass off when everybody else was on vacation during Christmas and whatever else, that they knew my value, and they probably just looked at me like I was a fool. So I don't know, man. Definitely do it as a side gig. Learn. Work your ass off to make money. Figure out where your priorities are. I dropped my hours down at my last job. I was a little bit of everything. I was a trainer. I was a project manager. I was the support guy. I talked to devs that were located in the Philippines and India to help with the product for their mobile app. I did a bunch of shit, right? So I've got a little bit of a background in software companies, just so you guys know. But I did all these things. I got my work down for the last year and a half. I got my work down to 10 hours a week. And then I just told everybody I was too busy. And I was focusing on what I thought was important in life. And that was getting away from my job and getting away from the grind because I fucking hated it. And even my boss, I told him all the time, he was the CEO of the company. I told him, I'm going to be gone in the future. I'm going to retire. And he just kind of chuckled at me. And yeah, that company isn't even around anymore. And you know what? I'm fucking retired. And that's because I got my priorities straight and I stopped giving a fuck about things that didn't matter to other people and shouldn't matter to me. And then I got rich and I got happy, and there's all this other stuff that comes with retirement and just purpose, which can suck, okay? I don't want to make it all sound great. And money isn't everything in life by any means whatsoever. It's more fun to give it away and to do things with it that benefit people or that give capital to the greatest companies on earth or investments on earth, which I believe is like Bitcoin and stuff like that. So it's more fun to do that, but But yeah, just don't think that everything is sunshine and rainbows at the end. That's my rant. That's the end of the rant. I might have to that's a pretty healthy one. Maybe I'll have to make that into a separate video. All right, Phenom Group, but, ooh, exciting, a cliffhanger. Antonio, I can't wait for MSTR to go back to 1900 so I can take out some money and go long Tesla. Yeah, dude, that no doubt. Yeah, I would just nibble it off and you could just keep DCAing in, man. That's the way to do it. First name, surname, you're right. I used to work for Tesla, and I'm going to say is hodl or buy shares. It really is, man. It really is. Phenom Group, love the passion. Dude, it's all I got. It's I am 0 to 100. Ask anybody who knows me. JT, Kite, if Tesla goes down that low, I'm selling the house, wife, kids, and dog. I mean, keep the wife and kids. The house, dogs don't live that long. Carmine Glitch. Of all my positions I've been holding, Tesla has been the easiest. No more of the price volatility. Tesla is literally one of the most innovative companies on earth. People are going to be writing hundreds of books about this man and what this company has done. Hundreds. People will be like, oh, I loved Elon Musk. He was so great. And that those people will be the ones that have shit talked him the whole time. Perception will be completely different in the future. Completely different. He could be the man who saved us in the space race. He might be the person, because again, when you have 6,000 satellites in space and countries like China and Russia can't shoot them all down, then they can't deter your military capabilities. But we can do that to them. And over 90% of the payload is coming from SpaceX for the world. And then, so you have stuff like that. And then you have the ambition to go to Mars. And then you have Neuralink making it to where quadriplegics can have a life again and are excited to start their day. And the Boring Company that's going to help remove congestion by drilling underneath the ground. And there hasn't been a lot of focus on that because the margins aren't that great, which makes sense. Or Tesla and robotics companies and energy transition and eventually, solar roof, not a focus right now. Very costly, not worth their time, especially with Chinese solar panels going down by 50% in a year in price. People think that Tesla's failing on some things, but they're being strategic. I don't even know where we started on there, whatever the question was. Buy broken stocks, not damaged companies. Yes. Yeah, broken stock prices. Ryan, that's the key. Rose Gold Gooner, I agree, man. Even some smart people are falling for the BS narrative. They're creating them. I actually like Meet Kevin. I think he's a really smart guy, but he seems too emotional for the investment world because I don't know. And he gets pessimistic. He's trying to be smart, and so he's going down all these rabbit holes of pessimism. Don't get me wrong. The economy can shit itself in the future. It can. But what you're trying to do is see where the macro is headed, and I think global liquidity overrides all. And a whole bunch of other things I'm not going to go into right now. But I think the direction is up. And I think people like Seth, who were in here a second ago, Phenom Group, they have a vision and they have a positive attitude, and then they use the data to figure out whether or not that positivity is warranted. And then if there's some negativity that draws away from the positivity, they make sure to tell you about that. And that's the way it should be. But if you look at things, especially the way you're invested, like if you've went into puts and therefore you need to be negative about data that's actually positive, you're going to have many sad days in your investment career. If you let your positioning or price determine reality, you're fucked. And Tesla's down 62% from where it was 2.5 years ago. That's what I know. And yet I think they're in a better position than ever. I think August 8th is going to be AI Day. It's not just going to be the robotaxi, but they might show the bot. Maybe. They might get some teasers at the end. Tesla has done that before. And again, there's a lot going on there, and all the enhancements with full self-driving definitely correlate into the robot in a major way. The robot is thinking now more like a person than it ever has before. And it was already great. The best out there, I believe. Almir, Jesse, is Tesla ever going to build a van for family? It's going to have a robotaxi that I think looks a lot like a van, but I think it's going to be as a robotaxi. I would love, there's this picture of like a Tesla van. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. It is my dream of what I would love to see the Tesla van be. And it looks like it's not this piece of shit right here. It is in here somewhere. It's hard to find. There's one person who did an edit of a Tesla van, and it doesn't look retarded like this. They actually put some effort into it, and it's just the coolest thing in the entire world. I bookmark it, but then I can't find it. But it is such a cool car. It's not this one. It is such a cool car. It's got to be in here somewhere. Oh, I got to like make it my background or something. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. We're not giving up. Everybody's going to leave, and I'll still be here looking for it. Come on. How is this thing falling off? It's the coolest fucking thing ever. How is it not on here? All right, whatever. I'll find it, and I'll bring it up in a different video. Super annoyed right now. Super annoyed. So pissed. This is like a little closer to it. It looks so cool though. Whatever. All right, fuck it. I'll find it. I'll find it some other time. Let's move on. Let me go back to the stock here. All right, down 2.55. Hey Jesse, what strike are you buying? I've been, that could differ, and I definitely encourage people to go to optionsprofitcalculator.com in order to be able to run this and visualize it for themselves. Here's what I have. So I'll just run this real quick on here. Let me expand it. Here's what I have. So I have, gotta go. Oh, shoot. I shouldn't have done that. Shrink down. Select option. You can't change it. So I have June 2026. I haven't done December yet. I've got 330 strike. I believe that's an area that's going to be pretty easily attainable in a little over 2 years, about 2 years and 2 months. And I've got a few contracts. What do I have for contracts? Let me see here. I've got about, let me see here, 215 contracts. Now my strike is much higher. My strike is 2176, so I won't do as good as somebody who's in right now. But I have $476,000 I put into it. So slight conviction. But I want $500,000 actually at the bottom. So that's when I say that number, that's why I say it. Now, I do need to show you this. So we're just going to jump over here because I think this is important. So here's what I'm betting on, right? I believe that Tesla, over the next 2+ years, can establish at least its previous all-time high around the 415 mark, which is 171% up from where we are. It's probably a little less, right around there, 170% up, right? That's what I believe Tesla can at least do. So if we look at that, let me get this up here too. If we look at that, and then I believe the max of what they can do is what we call the golden retracement zone. And so this is a trend-based fib extension. You draw it from a major low, like 2019, and then up to the high, like 2021, and then down to the low at $100, if this ends up being the low. Then that gives you your different fib levels. The .618 is called the golden retracement zone. It is the most likely place to have a strong level of resistance on an upward move. So it's important. That is at the $900 level. So I believe that we do at least 395 to 420, and that most likely we'll get to 591 to 600, and that we could get to 900, which would blow a lot of people's minds from where we are right now, because it's like a 500% move. It sounds untenable, but here's where it sounds better, right? When we draw it from the previous all-time high. Well, then I'm talking about a 42% move from where we were 2.5 years ago, right? From where we were 2.5 years ago, I'm drawing it from that level. And I'm talking about a doubling in price at the max, or less, or 42% upside at the least, over a period of 5 years, almost, from its previous all-time high. So I'm betting that it can go 42 to 118% higher from where it was almost 5 years ago by the time these expire. So let's put that out there, and then let's look at the math. And people buying today get a much better deal than me, because I'm at 2176. The going rate today is 1565. So we'll look at both these figures. So let's look at the 400-ish range and what I would make at the very end of this if I didn't sell. If we hit it earlier, I might sell, right? I might switch into stocks. But let's say we got to like 400-ish. I would only make $1 million roughly. Let's say we get to a higher number, which is like the previous all-time high. That's about 1.8, 1.9 million. 400%. Like, who gives a shit about that, right? But let's say we get to my first fib. By the very ass end of this, when they expire, I make 5.33, or I'm sorry, is that the right level? Oh, right there. $5.33 million. And if we got to my high target by the very end, not anytime earlier, but by the very end, I would make $11.8 million. And I'm not done buying yet. But people today, somebody today that put in these numbers, they get a much better number. They get, well, 1570. It looks like it just went up a little bit. So today they would put in like less, $120,000 less capital, right? Maybe a little bit more. And if they get today, if those people get to 400-ish, is that right? Yeah, 1.2 million, 1.34. And then if they got to, the high, it would be 1.7 million, the previous high. If they got to the $600 level, because you're getting a better price today, right? Then you would get at 5.47-ish, which again is like more money than what I'm getting. And then at 9, it would be closer to 12 million. So people today are getting a better opportunity than I'm getting. But again, I'm talking about doubling, tripling, quadrupling. I'm talking about over 20x potential returns for me on a $330,000 or a $450,000 investment. So there's risk here. This is getting to be over 20% of my portfolio. And so there's risk here involved, but I think it's very calculated risk, and I'm not worried about it. And if I lose it, fuck it. I still got the other 80%. This is called asymmetric bets, guys. When you can get 20x, it's pretty awesome. Because then you just, if you win on any of the things you do, I've got like 10, 11 asymmetric bets right now in different directions. So asymmetry is a beautiful thing. You should look up asymmetric if you don't understand what that word means. All right, rolling down. God, I go out. I see, this is why everybody's like, hey, Jesse, could you make these shorter? No, I'm physically incapable of that because I go off on rants a lot. So I can't. But I'm going to hopefully have an editor here soon. I'm already doing a bunch of YouTube shorts, and I'm growing pretty quick. And I'm hopefully getting an editor here soon that will be able to do all the automatic chapters, since YouTube sucks at that. Or if anybody knows of a tool that can do automatic chapter notations for me that's worth a damn, or that can automate the YouTube process of like uploading, I would love that. I think I'm doing it as good as I can, and I'm using Opus clips to do the YouTube shorts, and I'm pushing out like 20, 30 a day, and it's working really well. But I'd love to figure out how to automate chapters. And then also, I just need, for the longer form videos, I need somebody to do a good job with editing. So if you guys know of somebody that's really good at that I could delegate some access to, that isn't expensive, I'm trying to keep costs down, that would be amazing. Or just an automated like way of doing it that isn't Opus clips that might be better. All right. I think I've ranted a lot. I'm probably not going to read through all the comments right now. You guys go about your day. Ignore the douchebag. The guy's an idiot. It sounds like he's got a horrible track record. Bitcoin Man. Hey, thanks for the $1.99. Uber, but Tesla insurance not cover rideshare. You mean it didn't? What's going to stop it from happening? Right? Like they're totally going to, Tesla insurance is totally going to cover rideshare because they'll have the data to know that the costs are, that the risks are lower and that they can charge people less. So that would just be another incentive, along with maybe subsidizing some of the initial costs to make it just super really fucking cheap and competitive against Uber and Lyft so that you could destroy their market share and get more drivers to convert to your platform and to buy Teslas. You would maybe subsidize the cost of some of the rideshare to make it out of the gate cheaper. And then you would also make the insurance cheaper to where there's just a multitude of reasons. And then somebody could use FSD and maybe be saving money, making more revenue doing the driving, and then be able to have a better experience for themselves as they let the vehicle do most of the work. I think that's brilliant. I think that's the future, right? What type of watch are you wearing? It's really cheap, but it looks fancy. I think it's a Bolivar or something. It looks like badass diamonds. It actually shimmers a lot in the light. I don't know that it shows too well here. But I'm a cheap motherfucker. I'd rather put it into Tesla and Bitcoin. So that's that. All right. I think, guys, I'm done. I'm going to kill the stream here. Let's do some more later. Definitely come to the market recap at 3 if anything else interesting comes up with any of the investments I commonly talk about, or there's any major news events, I'll hop on. And if you guys see those, hit me up on X. Because, again, if you guys have questions about stuff, I want to give you answers, and I want to know, too, about major things that are coming up. So, Riot. Corsicana energized. Awesome. Good to hear, man. Good for them. Riot has done kind of a shitty job with their communication, investor communications, I think, recently. So it's nice to see them getting stuff up. Just get it up, Riot. Show that you can manage your shit well, and then maybe your stock will start to take off again. I made a lot of money off of Riot in the previous cycle. Riot and Mara were my biggest winners the last couple cycles, so I'm happy to hear them doing well. Drew S., Tesla analysts are auto analysts where companies are valued at, there's no other, everybody uses auto analysts. It's the stupidest fucking thing. And then they're like, well, yeah, I'm an auto analyst. Of course I'm not going to actually know how to value it, but you should listen to me. Even though my track record sucks. Whatever. Anyway, thank you guys for attending. I really appreciate all of you. I'm going to sign off now. Let's do this again. If you haven't, hit the like, please. It helps me, and leaving comments after this helps me too. Let's grow. Let's get as many badass people as we can get in here. Let's learn from each other. Let's get smarter. Let's get more efficient, and let's grow. And again, I'm looking to get some additional tools here soon that are going to allow me to be able to see things like short interest in real time. So just cool stuff. And so hopefully, again, we can just get a lot better. And as the tools get better, all of us can learn more. Love you guys. Peace out. See you at 3 p.m. Be there or be square. Bye. Oh, I didn't hit the right button.